Ink Ribbon.
She may have only graced the franchise once, but Sheva almost immediately won over the hearts of gamers and critics with her personality and prowess. This was the hardest character I've ever had to do a video on, but I was able to scrape together a good bit of information on her. From AI shenanigans to shooting Wesker in the head, here are 25 facts about Sheva Alomar. Sheva is Chris's co-op partner, but originally she was just an NPC character who would assist Chris through various parts of the story. In the commentary for Resident Evil Vendetta, the writer mentioned he wanted Sheva as a main character, but she was switched to Rebecca since she was easier to fit into the story. Sheva doesn't have a face model per se, but her face was based on Australian actress Michelle van der Water. Sheva is left-handed. What's interesting about this is it was entirely conceptual on Capcom's part. Even her voice and mocap actor Karen Dyer had to learn how to shoot left-handed. The only other left-handed video game character I can think of is Link, but if there's any others, let me know in the comments. Sheva was originally designed very early on in Resident Evil 5's development, but went through many changes and iterations before eventually becoming the character we know. Once co-op was decided as a main gameplay feature, she was specifically designed to balance out Chris. Sheva had been familiar with Umbrella her entire life, being born into a poor family in a village that lived and worked at an umbrella plant, until there was an accident when she was about 8 years old. All the workers in the plant and everyone in her village were executed by Umbrella mercenaries, including her parents. Out of sheer luck, she was picked up by her uncle and taken to live with him. While Sheva survived the incident with Umbrella, her struggles continued. Her uncle may have saved her from being executed, but due to him not only being very poor but also having 7 children to feed, Sheva ended up on the verge of starvation and tried to run away to find out what happened to her parents. She ended up joining a guerrilla faction where at the age of 15 she helped them successfully apprehend an Umbrella operative. She was then offered a new life in America and ended up joining the BSAA, where she was assigned to the unit led by Josh. Sheva's tattoo is a tribal design with the words Shuja on it, which means hero or warrior in Swahili, or brave in Arabic. She chose this to symbolize her aspiration to destroy bioterrorism. Also, this tattoo only appears on her main costume and tribal costume, but not her others. There's a lot of animosity among fans towards Sheva due to her AI being very frustrating, by using overly powered weapons, wasting ammo, not following commands, and using healing items when it's not necessary. But just to remind everyone, the same problems occur with Chris when you're playing as Sheva, as well as for Jill and Josh. Basically, it's not Sheva exclusive, it's more of the fault of the AI programming assigned to her. Sheva was born in 1986, making her 35 years old as of 2021. Sheva's color palette was designed specifically to match with green, both in the environment and with Chris, as seen even in her unused designs featuring orange, purple, and red, which are all colors that match with green. There's an unused dialogue between Jill and Josh where Jill mistakenly assumes that him and Sheva were romantically involved.
You and Sheva must be close.
What makes you say that?
You seem to be particularly worried about her.
It's not what you think. She's like my little sister.
There's a fan theory that Billy Cohen was possibly part of the squad that executed the people in Sheva's village, but the timelines are off by a few years. While it's true Billy was involved in the execution of a small village in Africa, his event occurred in 1997, while Sheva's occurred in 1994. Sheva's blood type is AB positive. This is noteworthy because while Ada, Steve, and Rebecca are all AB, Sheva is the only character in the entire franchise that is AB positive. In an interview with TechCrunch, Karen Dyer revealed that as part of her training for the role of Sheva, she is now officially certified to use handguns and rifles. She also did all her own stunts, even though a stunt double was offered to her. This was the first Resident Evil game to really utilize motion capture on the Hollywood level and required a lot of work. While some characters, like Sheva, required up to 14 hours a day of motion capture work, Karen Dyer, who did all her mocap, was actually able to perform well because of her background in dance and circus performance. One of the rejected storyboards features Sheva shooting Wesker in the head, as well as her piloting a fighter jet that would fire missiles at Wesker. When playing as Chris, if you stop and wait, Sheva will show positivity towards him, nodding, smiling, laughing, and even giving him a thumbs up.
Hey!
At the very beginning of the game, if you wait before you get your equipment, it starts an optional conversation with Sheva.
Wouldn't you rather be back in America than a place like this?
Not necessarily. Some people might think America has its own dark side.
That doesn't sound very patriotic.
I'm just a realist. It's a capitalist society. Not everyone is cut out for that kind of constant pressure. Sure, there are opportunities to be had, but at what price? You gain, someone else loses.
You don't sound like any American I've ever met.
That's the great thing about us Americans. We're all different.
Sheva has an unlockable bow complete with infinite ammo. The only other character to ever wield a bow is Krauser. As of 2021, Sheva is the one and only black character to be featured and playable in the main storyline. We did get Josh in Lost in Nightmares expansion as well as Keith in Revelations, but aside from Marvin in Resident Evil 2, there haven't really been any other prominent black characters. One thing that is still a mystery about Sheva's past is the man who helped her. At the age of 15, while she was part of the guerrilla faction fighting Umbrella, she met an American official who offered her and her faction amnesty if she could prove that bioweapons were real. She did this by simply entering an Umbrella compound and recording a meeting, resulting in everyone there being arrested and charged. He fulfilled his promise and not only gave her amnesty and a new life in America, but also became her legal guardian. But the question still remains as to who this mystery man is. Sheva is extremely intelligent. After moving to America, it only took her 6 months to master the English language. She also graduated with honors from university, one of the factors that not only led to her career at the BSAA, but also to her being assigned as Chris's partner. There are a couple instances where Sheva would speak Swahili during gameplay, mainly in combat. I don't speak Swahili, so I'm unable to translate it, but here are the lines if anyone wants to help.
Chopendeza! Kuna nini? Movi! Mungu nisaidie!
If you're wondering what happened to Sheva after the events of Resident Evil 5, there is hope for her to return. As of 2012, in an email she sent to peers, she is still working for the West Africa branch of the BSAA and is most likely still in touch with Chris and Jill. And that is it for this list. As I said, it was really hard to find information on her since she really was only in one game, but you guys requested it, so I did my best. Hopefully Capcom brings her back sometime soon. If there's anything new you learn, then please hit that like button, and I invite you to check out my other character facts videos and subscribe if you enjoy them. Also, let me know what other characters you'd like to see next in the series because I love learning more about our favorite video game characters. Until next time, I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon. And a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your extra support means the world to me and helps me keep making content for you guys.